let's say a wife would say, I want to fix my relationship. My relationship is going downhill. It's just not working. I'm trying to bring my husband to therapy, but he doesn't want to come to therapy. Can this relationship still survive?
Yeah, so we can't force someone to change. I've had a lot of experience where one partner wants to have therapy and the other partner does not, and it doesn't work. They both need to want to change. Many times we call them the pursuer in the relationship. A lot of times we have a pursuer in the relationship and a withdrawer. The pursuer in the relationship is always wanting to do stuff, planning things, working on the relationship. Let's do this. Come on. And the withdrawer pulls back, the stonewall, or isolates, and there's like, no, that's not. I don't have time. Tomorrow, let's do this. Then tomorrow comes around, I have to work, and when I come home, then I just came home. So there's no time ever to talk about things, and the pursuer gets really annoyed and frustrated by this, and then they continue to pursue, and then the withdrawer continues to withdraw, and it's a negative cycle. It keeps on going. So yeah, that happens. That happens often. So if you're able to, with pursuers, if you feel like you're like this, you're nagging your partner, you may have to approach it in a different way. Obviously, the way that you're doing it now is not working. You have to switch it up. The way that you're saying it, the partner is withdrawing, and that means that something's happening inside that's really, really bothering him or her. So you need to talk about your feelings. I feel this, or I'm feeling very lonely here in the relationship. Can we do something about it together? Like when I said that I was going to be your partner, I thought it was going to be different. Can we work together to make this different? As opposed to, you always doing this, you never want to work on the relationship. You don't care about my feelings. You never want to help out. What did you notice in the difference between those two ways of interacting?
So one is talking about her own feelings, and the
Right.
other one is just full on attacking.
Exactly. Like if you're talking about you, again, that's criticism. I'm gonna be defensive. So, but if you start by saying, how it's impacting your own self, it's not putting blame on the other person. You're taking the responsibility yourself. That opens the door to change.
And this can be a skill also learned in therapy, talking about how you feel, because a lot of the times we're so conditioned to just focus on what the other person is not doing or doing, and we don't actually stop and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and say like, hey, I'm not feeling okay right now. I'm not feeling like I have a partner who I can share with. I feel closed off because when I want to share, you're not home, and I would like for you to be home.
Yeah, vulnerability is a huge. I'm glad you use that word. It's such an important part in a relationship, because if you're not going to be vulnerable, you're not going to get anywhere. The problem is vulnerability requires taking that risk, and people are very scared to take that risk. Like if I share my deep feelings, what's going to happen? I don't know. Right? If I share that I feel really lonely, or I feel really sad about what just happened, or I feel really rejected or depressed, is my partner going to leave me? Will I be abandoned? Would they still like me? Will they think less of me? So many things that go through their head, and so therefore we're going to put up a shell and pretend like we're totally fine. We'll be angry, and because that's safe to be angry, but we won't share our underlying feelings and to be vulnerable. That thinking that we will stay connected. The problem is if we're not vulnerable, it actually moves us further apart. Vulnerability pulls us closer.
Together.
Yeah.